I think that this patchwork of laws is ridiculous and goofy and wrong.
Today's video is brought to us by the generosity of Firearms Legal Protection. Firearms Legal Protection is a legal defense program for lawful gun owners. You win the fight, and they will help you win the fight after the fight for the rest of your life. There's a link in the description for a coupon code for a discount for all active self-protection watchers.
You know, though, so I'll say this. I am a big fan of local control. I'm a big fan of letting people be unique, right? So I know friends who, maybe this is getting a little far afield from the legal side, that they would never leave the United States because they don't have Second Amendment rights anywhere else, and so they'd never go. I don't live that way. My wife and I took the entire ASP crew on a cruise to Mexico this summer. The Lord has blessed us financially with a little bit of extra, and so I was like, dude, let's go and celebrate that. And I didn't have any problem, man. We jumped off the boat in Cabo and went scuba diving, and in Mazatlan we went and toured a little bit and had some fun. And this Thanksgiving I will be in Thailand, and they're a different place, right? So in Thailand, if I as a Tarang get caught with a firearm, shoot, you're going to Thai prison forever. And Thai prison is not club fed, okay? Thai prison, they'll let you starve to death if your family doesn't bring you food, and that's not a joke.
Oh, wow.
Do I like that? No. Would I rather be carrying? Of course. But you know, I mean, at their level, I go, it's a different country. So I got to follow the rules there. When we were in Israel, wasn't allowed to carry. When I was in Rwanda, we weren't allowed to carry, right? And that's that. Some people are like, I'd never do that. And I go, look, man, I enjoyed the Holy Land like you wouldn't believe. And my joke is there's always somebody around with a gun. If I need one, I'll take one of theirs. And they go, yeah, but you can't take it away from them. Oh, yeah, I can. In fact, you know, a little quick funny story. We're going up Temple Mount, and at the time they were rebuilding the entrance to Temple Mount, and it was, I mean, if anybody here ever been to Israel, you've been to Temple Mount? If you've never been to Temple Mount, it is home to the most radical mosque in the world, okay? The Al-Aqsa Mosque is sitting up on Temple Mount, as well as the Dome of the Rock, where in Muslim theology, the Prophet Muhammad rose to heaven, right? And so this is it's huge and holy then, but it's also where the temple was built. And so you can go up there and you can see it. And we're walking up. We'd gone through security, really heavy security, waiting for a couple people that got jammed up in security. And there's a couple of Israeli soldiers that are sitting there on duty in full battle rattle, right? And so I'm just hanging out and I'm looking and I'm like, hey man, do you guys speak English? And they're like, oh, the guy's like, oh yeah, man, I'm from the Bronx, you know? And I was like, oh, that's cool, you're from the Bronx and you're doing time in the IDF. Yeah, I decided to do my military service in IDF, and so that's kind of who I am, and that's cool. I was like, oh, cool, man, that's really cool. And you know, what sight are you running on your rifle there? And he goes, oh, I don't know, and he hands it to me.
Oh, wow.
He just goes, yoink, here. And I was like, okay, dude just handed me his M4. All right, cool. All right, that's neat, man. That's an ACOG. You take that back before somebody sees me with it. Great, thank you. So, you know, wow. Sometimes that's some weird stuff, right? So I don't like the fact that for instance, I mean, I'm an Arizonan, right? And I have family in California. And I like to travel to see my family in California. And I hate the fact that I drive across the Columbia River, or not Columbia, rather Colorado, and all of a sudden I'm committing a Class 1 misdemeanor. I don't like the fact that I've never done this, okay? So I'm not saying I've done this. But if I were to, say, get invited to a friend's carbine class that's in Escondido, California, and if I go, hey, man, that carbine class sounds really fun, and then I show up to the carbine class like somebody could, but they don't have a California compliant rifle or California compliant magazines, and so as soon as they cross that illegal, you know, this border, they're all of a sudden committing, 35 or 40 felonies, having standard capacity magazines and rifles that aren't California compliant. Of course, I'd never do that. I mean, of course, right? I'd never do that. But if I were to do something like that, I would just hate that was the case. But of course, I'd never do that, right? Right, okay. Actually, you know, it's funny. When we were, a couple years ago, my wife and I went on an Alaskan cruise, and I taught a handgun class for a week in Bellingham. I have a friend who has one of the largest martial arts school in Bellingham, Washington. So I fly up there to teach a handgun class for a few days for some students up there. Well, guess what? My cruise got on the boat in Vancouver, Canada. So I had this big problem where we went up, we did this thing, and then I'm like, well, crap, what am I going to do with these handguns? Right? Like, I got to figure this stuff out. If I go up there and I bring a bunch of handguns, I can't take them across to Canada because right. I'm gonna get jammed up by the Mounties. And then I'm going to get to the boat, and I'm going to go, hi, guys, I have firearms to check. And that's not going to go well. No kidding. I thought about, was I going to ship these home or whatever? I ended up just borrowing guns from a friend up there, which today would be illegal. When I did that a couple years ago, it was okay. Today, under 1637, it would be a felony for me to do it. Even though the county that we were in up in Bellingham, I literally talked to the sheriff and he said, no, John, come up here. I won't enforce that stupid law. You will never get arrested for that law in this county. And I was like, yeah, but some idiot's going to see me on YouTube and some freaking city prosecutor's going to come find me. So I just think that kind of stuff is asinine and inane. So
I've got one.
oh, Terry's got one.